Hey Skip, obviously a huge team win. There's so many guys who contributed. Where do you even want to start?
I'd start with that bullpen where you got 4 and 2/3 really good innings. Um, Kyle Zimmer just continues to take whatever assignment we give him. Right behind him, Holland is just fantastic, and then Scotty getting it done. Those two guys in the middle, what they were able to do to get us out of trouble and to give us a chance for the guys to start doing the little things. I mean, that's what stands out to me. Obviously, we get Wick going. Good things are bound to happen, but after that, Monty staying back, two-strike hitting. Watch guys getting a runner over with nobody out man on second base, getting the run in. Nicky Lopez hustling down the line, first and third, the run scores. Monty getting bunts down, and then you get the big two-out hits when we missed an opportunity and Franco walks in and gets it done. Big hit that we keep talking about. So it was just I think a really good overall effort.
In that eighth inning too. I mean, the you can go batter by batter. Everybody really had great plate appearances. Even the ones that probably failed.
Yeah, and just some of those things that we talked about earlier today. You know, being comfortable once you do get the two strikes, and seeing almost Witt set that tone again today. It looked very Witt-like to right from the very first at bat. Getting down in the count, fouling off, taking close pitches, foul a couple more. That takes its toll on a starting pitcher. It takes a toll on a pitching staff, and then I believe those kind of at bats become contagious too, where you're seeing other guys kind of follow suit and putting pressure on the defense by making things happen. It was, yeah, one of those innings that you just hope that the guys see that process we talk about. Is we don't. Yeah, the three-run homer by Witt was fantastic, right? But to get there, you had a hustle double by Nicky. You had a really good walk by Galley, and then later in the game too, it's just let's stay to the middle of the field. Let's not try to do too much, and hand the baton off to the next guy.
And the key too. You talked about the bullpen. It's just Zim and Holly coming in and keeping the score down, so you guys have a chance to come back offensively.
Yeah, and that's been something we've tried to do. When we start getting close, how can we keep us close? And Kyle Zimmer just, like I said before, just continues to impress us. We put him in spots. That's a close game. How do you keep us there? Kyle, go do something to allow us a chance for our offense to kind of get jump started, and they did. But yeah, he's continuing to get some weird swings at both of his secondary pitches, and his fastball looks to be playing up, and that's huge. And Greg Holland, I don't know how much we could ask more from him. I was hoping to get an out, maybe two, into the eighth, and then he took care of it himself and even ran down a ball at first base. But just such a great addition to this club and what he brings on the mound, but what he's doing down in that bullpen when he's spending time talking to guys as well.
Thanks, Skip.
Right.
And Mike, you touched on it, but I just wondered how you would describe the sort of the step that Zimmer has taken this year from last year, where it was just seemed like it was more looking back on it about being healthy for a full year, but it seems like he's built on that this year.
Yeah, and that's just that natural progression. I think, and it happens with position players too, to where their main focus is how can I stay on the field? I just want to make sure I'm healthy. Your focus seems to be so internal that it's hard to put enough focus on the execution that needs to happen. And I believe that's truly where Kyle's been. He's just fighting for so long to feel healthy. It's hard not to have your focus right there on the rubber and not 60 feet 6 inches away. And what he's been able to do is last year I think was a huge step, and they did a great job of just getting him back and feeling strong. So then all through the winter, all through spring, and then through that summer, and the adjustments he even made from spring until that summer camp were huge. He shortened things up, made them very repeatable, and we're watching the exact same thing every day. And he's tunneling the ball well. He's always been able to spin it. He's got great life on the ball. Just the natural progression. I think it just takes a little time once you have those injuries, but he's done everything he can do to really put himself in a situation where we throw him any place.
Hey, Mike, just overall, with how hard these guys have worked, how rewarding is it to just walk away with the win?
Yeah, I love you got the music blaring in there, and you just you want those you want those rewards when they come back and they keep fighting back, and we've seen it so many times. But when they're able to put one away or get that lead, one I don't know if I've wanted one so bad. I can't remember. Just because they deserve it. The way these guys have been fighting, and the way our bullpen, our pitching staff in general, they've been relentless. Our offense has been relentless, and they've been frustrated. And you need days like this to give them that shot of encouragement. Hey, what you're doing, the things that you're working on, they're right. Stick with it, stay the course, because this thing is going to turn for us. And hopefully this is the start to a whole bunch.
Hey, Holly, you weren't necessarily a multiple inning guy the first time around here. How have you adjusted to that the second time around?
There really hasn't been that much of an adjustment for me. I did it a few times when I was in Washington. I did it a few times prior to that with Colorado, I believe. For me, it's just, I don't know, just making sure I'm loose. Sometimes I'll go down the tunnel and continue to stretch like I'm warming up to go in the game. But, it hasn't been much of a difference for me. I just try to keep the same mindset and maybe figure out how I'm going to attack the leadoff batter. Today our inning ran long and we got some extra runs, so I was kind of the nervous pacing guy in the dugout, but it just is what it is.
You've been on several different teams now. What does it say about this team that they've gone through some struggles, lost 7 in a row, but they still have that fight in them. As a veteran, how much do you appreciate that?
Oh, I love it. It's ifs and buts kind of. I feel like we've been in a lot of games the last month that we could have won and didn't. The work ethic and preparation and all that stuff is there. Just a bounce here, a bounce there kind of deal get you in a rut. But the guys haven't stopped working. And I think that's what I saw my first time around here in 11 and 12 as we progressed and figured out how to win those games when maybe we didn't have our best stuff that night or what have you. So, I think look forward to seeing this organization progress over the next few years.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Kyle, what's been the biggest difference, do you think, for you? You've obviously had a terrific season. Other than just being healthy, what's been the big difference in 2020?
I think mentally and physically, I think I've made some strides. I think the physical aspect of it has freed me up mentally. Whereas last year, I think I was still trying to figure out what kind of pitcher I was, just because I had missed so much time and had been hurt for so long, and trying to figure that out at the highest level isn't the easiest thing in the world. And so I think I figured some things out physically and feel confident and consistent in my mechanics, and that's allowed me to sort of free up mentally to be able to go out there and just attack hitters and pitch and compete, which is something I've always prided myself on, as being a good competitor, and so I think that's been the biggest thing.
Walk us through that pickoff play, because that was such a huge factor in the game, actually.
Yeah, that was great. I don't want to talk about it too much, give away any of our secrets.
No secrets.
But it was a big play. Yeah, it was a big play. We got a great break on it up the middle. I think it was Mondi covering the bag there. Yeah. Mondi got a great on it. I made the spin, saw that there was some room there, and just tried to deliver a good throw, and Mondi put a great tag on him. And luckily it wasn't overturned, and that was a big moment for us in the game.
Do you remember your last pickoff?
Nope. I think it's been a while. Do you?
No, I think that was his first MLB one, right? So.
Yeah, I think that was the first. Whit wanted me to tell you it's because no one ever gets on base, but that's not true. So. No. That was the first one. So yeah, it's a lot more fun getting it out that way.
You guys good?
Hey, Zim,
Go ahead, Len.
what do you feel like has been the biggest difference with your command this year? I mean, obviously the walks jump out, but it also seems like maybe the pitches in the zone are maybe more competitive pitches where you want them this year.
Yeah, I worked a lot during the off season, during the quarantine, and just getting as comfortable and consistent in my mechanics as possible. And I think that's really paying off. It's like I was saying earlier, just feeling comfortable physically with what I'm doing is freeing me up mentally to just see a spot and just attack it. And that's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to continue to keep trying to do is just make aggressive, quality pitches in the zone and challenge guys.
Yeah, I think Mike has described it as maybe simplifying mechanics. I mean, is that how you would describe? And I think he made the distinction of even just during the quarantine, he felt like there was a big difference between Arizona and then when you came back. So what went into that?
Well, I mean, I was just working a lot, getting off the mound as much as I can, and I was working with Tom House and some other guys that I live with down in San Diego, and just getting as much reps off the mound as I possibly could. And I think just getting myself into a position that feels athletic, and then trying to cut out just as much wasted movement as possible. I was over rotating, turning my head, turning my shoulders a little too much, and just trying to stay directional through the middle of the plate. And getting back to what I sort of used to do and prided myself on, which was commanding the ball and being aggressive and going after guys.
Hey, Whit, I think most people agree that you guys are better than your record. What does it say, though, that at this point, 7-game losing streak, you guys keep fighting like you did tonight and are able to get a win?
We got a group of really high quality people in here, guys that love to play, guys that are going to show up every day and be professional and go out and play to win. And really, really happy with the group of guys we got in there. I wish we'd be in a better spot than we are right now, but the only thing to do is to keep moving forward.
And you've obviously hit into a lot of bad luck. I guess the key is just to hit the ball over the fence, right? So no one can catch it.
That's it. It's that easy. I mean, I've been feeling good. I really have been. The only reason it's been a slump is because I haven't really got many hits. As Yogi Berra as that is, it's you can take it literally, but it's the truth. I felt really good. Maybe the last 3 games leading up to this one, I actually haven't felt that good. But in years past, when I go through something like this, you find ways to get the job done, to get a hit, to get a walk, whatever it may be. And for whatever reason, during this short stretch, I haven't been able to do that. Might be a lot of factors, but it's a short season, and we all know that. So there's not really time to go through things. So there's a little bit more pressure to when you don't feel good to hurry up and get it fixed.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess the food wasn't that good, but it had some hits in it, right? So maybe you should be eating the same thing, right?
Yeah, I love Willie Jinks, the club of the year, so I'm not going to throw him under the bus. But pregame food was good. Yeah.
Did it feel like you were in a slump, or did it just feel like bad luck this last homestand here?
It just felt like bad luck. I mean, there was a lot of balls that in a lot of different places would have been a different result, but playing at Kaufman, it's an out. So when stuff like that happens, we talk about it all the time with Terry and Mabes that playing at Kaufman, when stuff happens, you can't try to do more. You can't smoke a ball. For my instance, I hit 2 balls really hard last series to left that I thought were at least doubles, maybe homers, turned into outs. In the back of your head, you maybe try to do a little bit more, but really you just got to stay the course and continue to make good swings. So got away from it a little bit, but it's hard. It's hard when you're not getting results to stick with what you're feeling. If you're feeling good because you're not getting results, it's just human nature to try to change, and you fight it as long as you can, as much as you can. And, I'll continue to go up there and continue to try to swing at better pitches, work on pitch selection, and if I'm in the zone, I feel like I'm good. So I just got to get a little bit better with that.
Wait,
Does going
right.
on the road almost ease a little bit of that pressure? I mean, just because you know how most of the ballparks aren't like Kaufman.
Say that again. The first part.
I said, does going on the road almost ease a little bit of that, that pressure, just because you know you're hitting in ballparks that aren't, for the most part, aren't going to be like Kaufman? I mean, I think we've talked in the past about the home runs that you've piled up on the road and things like that.
A lot of places, yeah, a lot of places. Depending on where you're playing, it really is good for a hitter's approach. For me, when center field and right field, right center are more accessible. As a right-hander, that I love that. So then you play places that have a shorter left field. You don't have to catch it clean to be a homer. So yeah, it does help. But I mean, Kaufman is what it is. It's actually see the ball really well on Kaufman. We got a great backdrop. We got great lights.